All right, I've got some issues in my backyard. A bit of some eyesores to deal with. But we're going to talk about what we can do to take care of this, so stay tuned. My name's Deric. This is my wife, Jenya. We bought a fixer-upper. We're remodeling this house one day at a time, all while living in it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to get all the latest videos to track our progress. You'll find lots of how-to videos with step-by-step instructions to help you with your next do-it-yourself project. Welcome to the Rundown Reborn channel. Okay, so we've got some issues here. We've got a lot of unpleasantries to screen out. So what I did was I went down to the local landscaping center and asked them about this. I've got a walnut tree over here. I've got what we think is maybe a mulberry and a catalpa tree here. I've got a couple of elms here. I've got a maple tree in the back, and they're all really mature. The nice thing about that is it provides a lot of shade for us and keeps the house nice and cool, but their root masses are monsters in the bottom. The walnut tree specifically, nothing's really going to grow next to that. They've adapted to contaminate the soil, so really nothing will compete with it. We're going to have to figure out something else in that area back in here. But for here, we think we can grow stuff. I spoke to the fella at the garden center or the landscaping center. They know a lot more about plants than I do, and told him about what I had here. I took some pictures, went there, talked with him, and here's what he recommended. He recommended dogwoods. Now what I've got here is called a winter canary dogwood variety. The dogwoods, they were about $40. They were premium, but they're nice size, and I wanted something that's going to grow fast. And we maybe got 2 summers here to try to grow something here and get this looking good for sale. And these will grow possibly up to 8 feet tall. These should fill out and mask off this whole zone here, and I should have enough to run from this tree over here all the way down to the end of the fence. So now on this side of the yard, it's not quite as unsightly. So what we're thinking about doing here, we've been recommending maybe some hydrangea in this area. We'll basically fill in this whole stretch along between the trees with a nice hedgerow of hydrangea. Hopefully that'll fill out, really soften the sight line and help frame in the yard. So now the dogwood and the hydrangea should take care of the sidewalls. I also picked up here some forsythia. Now these are basically nice big yellow shrubs. They're a bit stringy, but they're pretty full, and there's a lot of good color to them in the spring. These are going to be full sun plants, so we'll put those where they're going to get a lot of sunshine. Why did I buy that kind? They were half off, so I got both of these for about 20 bucks. So as you can see behind me here, this is the other issue we have. We just don't have a lot to look at back here. So this is a full sun area across the back of the lot. We're just going to try to do something that's going to grow well in that full sun and kind of fill out and give us some height and some visual screening. So here's one of the plants I selected. It's a really pretty plant. It's called a Diablo 9 bark. These are going to grow taller than I am, and they look like they're going to be really thick and fill out. So I liked them because they were really dark red and just bring some real contrast to some of these yellower plants that I've got. I think these would be a really great background plant. So this is a golden sunshine willow, and this one's going to grow about 10 to 15 feet tall, hopefully. And it grows all the way down to the ground. It doesn't have much of a trunk. It's more of a shrub than a tree. We're going to put this in the back corner and really just kind of give us some height there in the back, and use as a background base plant. What I've got here is a physocarpus. It's called a lemon candy. I think this is going to be great in front of that willow, and it's going to grow up nice and tall and full. Again, we're just trying to get some nice full plants in the back of the lot to help with the screening. So this last plant I've got here is called a golden privet, and it also gets pretty full, pretty large in size. It's going to grow up to be a nice, bright, colorful shrub, and I'll probably put this back here in the back corner as well. Hopefully the mixture of all these colors and these densities and sizes will give you a nice screen out here in the back corner here where I really need it. right, I've almost got down to the bottom of the hole here. I kind of got lucky with my first strike, and I was able to get between some of the major roots of these trees. There is a lot of root down here, but somehow I found the right spot right between some major root lines in here. So I'm trying to get it fairly deep that I can get that container in here. I picked one of the nicer ones here, drop it in there, and it's looking okay. I'm below the ground line, so when I start to put it in and backfill it, it'll sit right where it needs to sit. I don't really have any roots in the way. It's not looking too bad. So about planting these, what I've read is you want to mix some fertilizer, manure with this backfill here. I'm kind of old school. I mean, that's fine. I also don't want to, I want these to be low maintenance plants, so I'm of the mindset, put them in the ground, see if they're going to take on their own. Let them do their thing. I think if the conditions are right for the plant, it should take off fine on its own. What we can do to help it is we're going to cut this pot off here. So get that cut, get it out carefully. So we've got our root ball here. It's pretty compact. So what I've been told and what I've read is that you want to score these about a ½ inch deep, or basically about the depth of one of these utility knives, about 6 or 8 spots depending on the size. And I believe what that's going to do is basically kind of separate these roots, this root ball, loosen it up a bit, and allow those roots to spread out a little easier. So they'll be able to take on water a little bit better. And it's going to be tough for this plant anyway, because it's competing with these 2 giant trees. But it is shady here, so it's not going to dry out. The soil's not going to dry out as fast as it would in the full sun. Got a little more dirt here, and it's okay if we dug it too deep, because that loose fill on the bottom is going to be a nice bed for that to expand downward in. So I've got it set in there. I just want to kind of position it. I think it's leaning a little bit that way. So we'll get about right there. I think that's going to be good. Now we'll just go ahead and push this dirt back in around it, pack it in real tight. So that's pretty much filled back in. I'm going to step it down, try to pack that in a little bit. And here we go. I think we're in. Another tip for you. The gnats have been nasty today. They're all over the place. They're driving me nuts. Of course, my wife come out with a solution. Here's the recipe. So you mix some lemongrass, some citronella, with your favorite hand lotion, smear it on. Haven't had one gnat bothering me since. Nice stuff. Our dogwoods are in place. That 6th one, we ended up having to bring it in and take it a little farther out. I ran into a garage foundation and it wasn't going to move. But I think that'll be okay. It'll help kind of curve that, soften that corner. That'll fill out. Our next job up is to go ahead and put these hydrangeas in and get this hedgerow started. We're going to try to close that gap between those trees and kind of screen that side of the yard out. Over here we've got the boys. They're starting a pool. So the hydrangeas are in now. We really only need about 5. I put those also about 4 feet on center. They might be slightly overspaced, but we'll stretch them out and fit them out. They should get nice and full, and I think they'll look great. All right, so we got these other plants all positioned. We got our red base plants right here. These are gonna grow 7, 8 feet tall maybe. So they're gonna be a nice starter. I kind of have to work around. There was a garage here at one time. There's a footing that runs across here, corners out there, heads that way, and you can see it here across the back of the lot. So we're gonna work around those. We've got these red plants. They're gonna be in the front. And then this here is our willow. This thing's gonna grow 10, 15 feet tall, nice and big, fat, and full of green. And then we've got this here. This one here is about a 3 to 5 foot shrub. Here we have one of those discount plants I got. This guy is a forsythia. I think it's gonna be a nice healthy plant. We'll have a nice ball of yellow here, some nice big corner of red. This will fill in real nice. These things will just grow into each other. Have a little ball of yellow, and then a backdrop with this bright yellow willow. Now this one over here, so this is our privet. This thing is gonna be a nice big ball of yellow. It's gonna grow about 10 feet tall, so really tall, about 5 feet wide. It's gonna be a nice big patch of color, help screen. So why are we doing it this way? Look, I mean, all of these plants that we've got here that you've seen us put in today is pushing about $500. You can't even get one side of the yard fenced in for that. This is gonna do visually the same thing a fence is gonna do. It's gonna have a lot more color. It's gonna feel a lot more cozier. I think it's gonna be adding more value than a hard fence. Not to mention, putting a fence in this yard with all these foundations, tree roots, would be a nightmare. So, new developments now. I decided to go out and get some more plants. We still had a lot of gaps in what we were doing. So, what I did was I spent another about $200, which puts us at a grand total of about $700 for all this landscaping in the backyard. Still a lot cheaper than a fence. We're gonna put some grass down here on the back and just kind of maybe buffer out this this foundation wall here. So I also picked up a holly tree there, which does pretty well in the shade. And we've got an elderberry here. So also a part shade tree or large shrub. So these are gonna go tall here and thick, and hopefully the holly will keep some foliage on through the winter and help screen this. Other than that, I grabbed a couple of burning bushes, and I think that tidies things up. Add a little touch of red over here and over there. Now we should have our whole back end nice and thick and full. All of these shrubs are just going to be huge. I'm going to show you exactly what I think it's going to look like if everything matures out real nice, so stay tuned. Well, the boys didn't get much digging done. They were attempting to make themselves a swimming pool here. Didn't make much progress. So I thought I'd help them out. We got a new pool, didn't we? So we're gonna enjoy our new yard and have a little fun out here. The weather's nice today, so I think we might get a little wet. But thanks for watching. If you get a chance, leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing, and be sure to subscribe. We'll see you next time. All right, guys, you ready? Go. Jump it in. Don't squirt me. Okay.